For the last 2 weeks, we have been speaking about moving forward, and that's exactly what we are doing. We ride at dawn, my friend. Let's get into the core theme of today's episode. Everybody isn't a fan of what I'm building, but for me, I'm okay with that. I don't want the fame. I want to be able to help someone that didn't think it was possible to rise above something that almost took them out. I want to help change the life of someone who was in the same or similar situation I was in. So my content will find who it's for. So I'm not worried about becoming famous off my words. This episode taps into how to navigate the people that aren't your biggest fans. Now, what I will say is that we still need to give the people who don't support us credit where it's due. And that's credit for motivating us, credit for keeping us on our toes, and credit for keeping it real. Because some naysayers may actually be giving you constructive criticism to help you tweak your craft, or they may just not be interested in what you're creating, and that is fine as well. With that being said, the title of today's episode is Where Do Birds Go When It Rains? And Navigating the Naysayers. Before we go ahead and get into today's episode, hello, my healing hotties. My name is Mara Noir Sinclair, and welcome to Her Healing TV, a podcast where I teach others to rebuild, rebrand, and reclaim themselves after dealing with trauma. This is where discipline meets divinity, where emotional control becomes power, and where transformation is intentional, not chaotic. I'm about to put y'all in my business for just a couple minutes. So I started this podcast March of 2026. I have been releasing episodes since March 9th of 2026. I put the links on my socials and slowly started transitioning my social platforms to fit this podcast. And this was so easy for me to do because at the time I was on a social media detox. I had deleted my Facebook and Instagram apps off of my phone for like 3 months, like a 90-day type of thing. So it was easy to just slide everything into place. And no one knew because I wasn't active, on either of my feeds. And plus I had my alias. I changed my name in my podcast so that it wouldn't be noticed right off bat. And I told myself that once I got to episode 10 that I would start making visuals so that I can find my tribe and audience. I knew who I wanted to attract, to say the least. I started to post the visuals recently. And I had someone I used to be close with DM me and say, "Oh, so you're motivational now." So I immediately chuckled, just like I just did. I immediately chuckled because this is someone who I have supported, every single milestone of theirs. I have had their backs through thick and thin. And at one point, I was this person's biggest cheerleader. I defended them to so many people. And the craziest part is that this person has confided in me about their deepest, darkest secrets. So, of course, my first mind was to say something crazy. But I thought about it. I thought about where I've come from. I thought about who I've changed into. And I just spoke the truth. I let them know. I said, yeah, actually I am. And it's funny that you said that because I've always motivated you. So, of course, there was not really a response. There was a reaction to the message, but I didn't expect much of a response after I replied anyway. I have a kind of like a Mortal Kombat, like finish him attitude with my responses. But needless to say, it does not matter how much you support others or even put people on a pedestal. Majority, not all, but majority will find a way to have a problem with your craft, or not support you, or not give you credit where it's due. So Pastor Stephen Furtick said it best. If you live for other people's praise, you will die when they take it away. Pastor Furtick is a beast when it comes to his quotes and analogies. I'm going to say it again. If you live for other people's praise, you will die when they take it away. So he said this in church a couple weeks ago, and something for sure hit my spirit. I had never thought about it like that, but he was so right. I found purpose in what I was doing because it made me feel good to know that someone was going to hear my voice and finally exhale. I felt good knowing that after each episode, someone gained some clarity on whatever they had been struggling with. I get happy knowing that there's a baddie walking around out here healed and prayed up because of something I said or shared. But because I didn't put expectations on whether people would like my content or not, it hit that much harder. So my episodes, they just flow, no pressure. So back to what he was saying though, living for, others essentially will kill you if they no longer love you. This is why I have adapted the attitude of being unbothered, or should I say aware. I'm not looking for praise. I'm looking to be relatable. Social media has created such a falsehood, and I want to break the stigma. People relate likes with achievement. Likes do not equal quality because we all have seen something that is terrible gain attention. We have got to stop expecting people's praise to be an indicator of if we are doing a great job or not. Stop putting expectations on others for your happiness and satisfaction. Ultimately, you are going to only disappoint yourself. You cannot put your happiness on somebody else. You have to create and live and learn and be happy with yourself. You cannot leave that up to somebody because it's only going to hurt you every single time. You're going to disappoint yourself every single time. The only person you should put expectations on is you. And the only reason I'm saying that is because it makes you hold yourself accountable and obtain each and every goal you set. When you put your trust in you, when you put your faith in you, it holds you accountable for you to reach whatever goals you set for yourself. So, listen, first they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. But not all naysayers hate you though. So really quickly, we're going to tap into D versus D, and that is discernment versus defensiveness. For starters, not all criticism is bad. Some of it can be very useful, guys. There are some people who genuinely want to see you go far, and so they will give you feedback that may actually tweak or boost your content creation, business, etc. Then you have others who just want you to fail, flat out. They want to project fear onto you. They want to doubt you. There are people that want to only accept who you used to be. The hard part is telling the difference. So that's what we're about to get into now, how you can tell the difference. So when trying to determine what type of criticism you are dealing with, you got to ask yourself these questions. The first one is what this person is saying constructive or controlling? Let's look at the definition of constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is feedback aimed at helping someone improve. So essentially, it is a form of feedback that focuses on building up rather than tearing down. It identifies specific behaviors, actions, or outcomes that can be improved and provides practical guidance and actionable suggestions on how to make those improvements. The word constructive literally means to build. Somebody is trying to help you build yourself up, not tear you down. Whereas controlling means to determine or supervise something or someone's behavior. That is the difference. Constructive, controlling. You have to know what this person is saying or these people are saying, you have to know the difference. One of these is not like the other. So when faced with understanding who is who, ask yourself, is this person trying to help me build myself up so that I get better? Or is this person trying to control what I'm doing out of fear, lack, doubt, or just flat out bitterness? That leads me to another question that you can ask yourself. This is the second question that you can ask yourself to tell who you're dealing with. Is this feedback coming from experience or limitation? Connecting with someone who has experience in your craft can always be a big help to your success and achievements. I think about connecting with other podcast hosts all of the time because it's always something I can learn from someone that came from the same place I started. I think there are so many interesting people out there that can help me reach the next level when it comes to my craft, when it comes to this podcast, when it comes to how I am structuring my episodes or what time of day to put, people that can actually help me get to the next level or my audience, reach more people. And those are the people I'd fight to be in a room with and take what they say into consideration. I'd actually listen to what they have to say. Then you have people like the person I was speaking of earlier. Someone speaking from limitation. For example, that doubt, that fear, and bitterness I mentioned earlier. And speaking from the perspective of someone who knew the old you, the old me. That's what that person was doing earlier, speaking from someone who knew the old me. Which is, again, crazy because I've always been a person to build my friends up. I am super brutally honest, but I tell you the truth with love being my intention. But I am going to be honest with you. And that is something that I've worked on, being honest, but doing it in a tactful, loving way. Again, that person knew the old me. So those are the kind of people that kind of give backhanded comments, like sarcastic comments and positive comments in reverse. Like I don't know if you guys have ever seen Deliver Us from Eva, and she with Gabrielle Union, and she's like, it's like saying hello in reverse, whatever. Anyway, so these are the people to steer clear of when building your empire. They aren't doubting you. They are doubting what they would do in your position. They aren't necessarily doubting you like you can't do it. They just don't know how they would do it if they were in your position. The advice isn't genuine or sincere. And quite frankly, you don't have to even engage with people like this. This is where the how to navigate the naysayers comes in at. Where do birds go when it rains? I'm about to tell you. You don't even have to engage with people like this. But if you must, it's better to do it with grace. Tell them, thank you so much for all of your support, even if you know they aren't supporting you or they don't support you. And then you know what you do? Direct them to where they can find more information for whatever your craft is, your business, your podcast, your book. Direct them to where they can go to find out more about what it is that you're doing. This ensures that you are remaining humble, but also self-promoting that business, baby. Gotta self-promote yourself. 444 is on my clock. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Spirit guys. Clock it, guys. Now let's get into how to navigate the nays. I'm gonna show you how to move in a room full of vultures. The first thing that you want to do, you're going to move in silence. In episode 8, we talked about moving in silence, and that is exactly what you're going to do. Everyone doesn't need access to your vision in its early stages. At the beginning of the episode, I told you all that I literally started this thing 2 months ago and no one knew. I didn't feel obligated to share my thoughts and vision because I honestly didn't care to have anyone's opinion on it. I had made my mind up. And it was for sure a calling from God. He told me that people were going to want to hear what I have to say. So I didn't hesitate to pick up my phone and start recording. That's obedience. Doing what God tells you to do when he tells you to do it. And that's exactly what I did. In doing so, you are protecting your energy when you move in silence. I was able to create in peace, and no one was able to talk me out of my idea. For example, I spoke to a few women who said that they wanted to start a podcast and was told that everyone has a podcast and that no one would listen. Like I've heard a few women say that, and that's crazy. The crazy thing is that yes, millions of people have podcasts, but not everyone is speaking about the same things. Your podcast could resonate with so many other people, and that's why it's always best for you to use your wisdom and keep quiet. Just be quiet. Go through with the idea, post that content, post that podcast, start that business, write that book, do whatever it is, go to school, do whatever it is that you want to do, but move in silence. Your close friends, your family, your children, they don't have to know what you're doing until it's done. It may feel like you are being secretive, but you're actually smart for this move. This is actually a very intelligent move on your part. So just remember this. Tending to your own garden in private will always create the best growth in public. And that is why you need to detach from the need for validation. This is the second thing that you're going to do when you're learning how to navigate the nays. Detach from the need for validation. Earlier in this episode, we spoke about living for other people's praise and how it can essentially kill your growth. People have a way of making you feel like you need to be liked in order to succeed. It's crazy. Oh, well, you have to like me in order for me to succeed. The truth is that you don't need agreement to be aligned. You don't need people to agree with you for you to be aligned. During my morning prayer, I asked God every day to align me with his will that he has over my life. Not this person, not that person, not the person down the street. I want him to align me with his will that he has over my life. As long as God agrees with me, I am peachy. I could care less what the next person feels because I am not living for them. My divine assignment doesn't look like the next person's. What God has for me, what God told me to do, what God assigned me to do, does not look like what he told you to do. So why would I ever put myself in a box to fit someone else when God, he didn't align me with that? That's not what he told me to do. I'm not going to put myself in a box. That's like trying to fit a square in a circle. I'm not doing it. Honestly, my path probably looks confusing to other people. They may not understand what God has called me to do. This is why I don't worry about what other people have to say, feel, or think. They may not understand what God is calling me to do. And I'm not trying to get super religious, but it's true. It's just what it is. God has everyone on a different path and assignment, and we aren't supposed to understand every choice someone else is making. That part is called minding your business. That part is called minding your business. Judging someone else for what the decisions that they're making is called, you need to mind your business because you do not know what God has called that person to do. And so to detach from validation, you need to worry about yourself. Point blank, period. It may feel like isolation. And y'all know I'm big on isolation. So it may feel lonely, but it's needed to proceed with your vision or craft. Worry about you. I tell my daughter this all the time. especially going into middle school. She's about to go into middle school. Worry about yourself. I don't care what your friends are doing. I don't care what what this person is doing. Worry about you. You can only be responsible for yourself. Detaching from validation sets you apart from the crowd. It's what creates that elevation. It gives you a sense of power. And that sense of power makes you unshakable. And this is the part I love. Becoming unshakable turns you up like 10 notches. That's going to lead me right into the next thing you need to do to navigate the nays. Become unshakable. This is the part of the journey that wakes up your confidence. I said confidence, not cockiness. There is a difference, my friend. Confidence is consistent and aware. It gives you the notion to know who you are and to own it. It allows you to have authority in your life. Know who you are, own it. Having confidence in what you are doing makes whatever it is 1,000,000 times better. When you are not bothered by what people say, think, or feel, you find peace that never leaves. When you are confident in what you're doing and nobody can shake you're rooted and nobody can shake you up. It doesn't matter what anyone says. It doesn't matter what anyone feels. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. You're not getting likes. You know what I'm saying? People are not responding to your content. So what? If you're rooted in what you're doing, especially if it's something that God has called you to do, keep doing it. Keep going. Keep moving. That peace that you find is top tier. It's peace that will never leave you because you are confident and you're 10 toes in what you are doing. That peace never leaves your side. Another reference from episode 8, talking about keeping things quiet, moving in silence and then glowing in public, is that you don't need to keep explaining yourself. It's unnecessary. Trust me, they heard you the first time. This is all a part of becoming her, becoming him, becoming them, becoming an alien, whatever it is. This is all a part of shifting into that identity. You don't need to beg. You don't need to chase. And you dang on sure don't need to explain anything to anybody. That is becoming unshakable. Which means that you do not bargain with your vision or how someone else sees your vision. You don't bargain. You don't go back and forth. It is what it is. I said what I said. Your results will speak for themselves, especially if you just keep doing you effortlessly. People will eventually see what God saw in you and what you see in yourself. Why argue with someone who doesn't have your assignment? This all boils down to a few key movements when you are dealing with someone who doesn't support you or is stuck on who you used to be. For starters, remain humble, confident, and aware. Make sure you are rooted in you. This is the most important step. Once you do that, you stay humble, my friend. Thank people for support, whether they show it or not. Then you keep moving forward. It's that simple. God has a special assignment for you, and he doesn't need you out here wasting your precious time on people who can't see what he sees or hear what he specifically told you. So I'm going to run through that one more time. The first thing you need to do is move in silence. Stop telling everybody your business. Do whatever it is that you're doing in silence and go from there. The second thing is detach from validation. Stop feeling the need to be liked. Stop feeling the need to be like your assignment is not somebody else's assignment. What you're doing, your crowd, your the niche, the people will find you. They will come to you. They will find you. You don't have to be liked. You don't have your happiness doesn't your someone else's opinion doesn't determine your happiness. That third thing is become unshakable. Get confident in you. Know what you're doing. Have authority. Stay rooted in yourself and what you're doing. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna get out of y'all's business. Not everyone is meant to understand your journey, guys, while you're in it. Not everybody might look crazy to some people. Some people will only understand after it's already manifested. And by then, you won't need their validation. You don't need it now, but for sure, you won't need it then. So if you're in a season where the noise feels loud, your birds chirping in the back, your people talking, they see you. Others do self. Whoops. Podbean just had a glitch. But let this be a reminder. Stay focused, stay grounded, and keep going anyway, because your purpose was never up for group discussion. Thank you so much for joining me today. Here I guide others through disciplined self-development, meditation, and emotional regulation to create lasting transformation. By blending feminine softness with structured ambition, I teach others how to build divine bodies, regulated minds, and elevated standards. This is not chaotic growth. This is intentional evolution. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone else who's also going through their transformation era. And remember, healing, growth, and power can exist at the same time. Until next time, stay intentional, stay disciplined, do no harm, take no shit.